Hi, welcome to the Old Mill Kitchen. Pat here. Good Friday's coming up, so it gives me an excuse to make hot cross buns. I know you can go into the supermarket and buy hot cross buns. They've been in the supermarket for the last couple of months, but I think it's always nice to make your own. And here's a delicious recipe that you can try and put your bread and bun making skills into practice. Now what I've got in here is 500 grams of flour, strong flour, and what I'm going to put in here along with that is some yeast. A sachet of 7" of yeast in there, and then I'm going to put in some salt, but I'm going to keep that separate and others out of the bowl because you put the salt straight onto the yeast, it can kill it. That's a teaspoon of salt. Don't worry about the ingredients because the ingredients will be on the video just down below where you can click on, so you can just watch what I'm doing and don't worry about the amounts. Into the flour now I'm going to put some spices, and I have got the wrote down here. It's 2 teaspoons of allspice, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So that goes in there like that. In some the zest of 1 orange. Now what I say about the spices, you can make up your own amount of spices. I'll show you the amount that I put in on the list below, but you can make up your own spices. I just happen to like this mix. I think it makes a nice, sort of gives a lovely Christmassy sort of effect to it. And into that I'm using brown sugar. I like the brown sugar, again it gives another richness to it. And what I'm going to do then is just mix that slightly like this, just bring it through. And I'll just check if everything in there. Now I'm getting old, so I need to wax these things. Right, flour, salt, sugar, yeast, cinnamon, that's everything in there. So now I'm going to put in some warm milk. I boiled some milk and I've put some butter into it and I've let it cool down. I just wanted a tepid temperature. Just put your finger in there, you can feel the temperature. We'll put that in here into this bowl like that, and I'm going to be putting an egg in, so I'm just going to start stirring it here, and I'm just going to put this egg into it. I think I'll leave the 1 egg. This 1 medium egg, just with a little bit of water, just to make the mix up. And I just get that mix. Just takes a bit of time. So now what I'm going to do is transfer it into my mixing bowl. I could mix that, put that out onto the counter and start doing it by hand, but I've just got this mixing bowl, so I'm going to use it as a kitchen aid. Let's get everything in there. Now, put that into the machine and put on our dough hook. Anytime I use a machine like this, I always start it off very slow just to make sure the hook's in or whatever's in, spades in. Right, this has been in here now. It's been doing its thing for the last 8 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out and put it on on an oiled surface. I'm just going to give it a knead for myself for about a minute, just to get the feel of it. So there's a wee bit of light oil there. I don't want to put flour on it because it tends to alter the recipe. So we just get that out. It's nice and sticky. So I'll just get the feel for that then. It's basically done. I'm just giving it a wee knead so I can get the feel for it myself. And you notice it doesn't stick to the surface. That's because we're using that wee bit of oil and we're not adding flour to the recipe. So there we are. That's basically it. That's it done there. So I'm just getting it ready now. That's it. That's it ready. Now I'm going to oil this bowl here. Lovely bowl I had. Christmas present from my sister. So get that oil there, so it will not inhibit the rising of the dough. Put the dough in there like that. I'm just going to squirt a wee bit of oil over the dough as well. Give it a little rub. That's it. So it's nice and ready. Cover that in plain film, which I'm going to put a bit of oil in as well. This is a handy wee bottle for spreading the oil out. Gives you better control of the use of oil. So I just cut that like that. Now, depending on the temperature of your kitchen, this is going to take from an hour to an hour and a half, but it totally depends on the temperature of your kitchen. And what will happen is that will double in size, and then we'll come back to it and we'll add the fruits and knock it back, and then we'll put it into nice wee buns and let them rise again. So this is going to set aside this now for about an hour. Okay. This is doubled in size, as you can see. It's done its business. I'm just going to knock it back. That's just basically knocking it down, and when you do that by just throwing in the fruits. That's the sultanas, and that's the mixed peel. Again, you can choose whatever fruit, currants, whatever you want. This is what I put into it. So I just knock it down, back like so, in on it so. And basically what I'm going to do as well is just knead it a bit, just like that. You can see into the pot here, or into the bowl. Smells lovely, has that Christmassy smell about it. We bring it out here onto the bench, and what we're going to do now is a little bit of flour. I like dusting of flour. Cut it in half with my pastry cutter, and we just roll that into a long sausage. I'm going to be looking for about 75 grams each of each roll, so we'll just start like that, turn on my machine, check, see that that's grams, so here we go, just get them organised. 75. Just go like that and keep continuing. So the next job then is to roll these babies out, and just get your hand like that there, like a claw. I'm going to press lightly down on them, and you get the perfect little balls. And we'll get a tray over here. I've lined this with parchment paper, and we're just going to put the little balls in there. Leave enough space between them for the to take in the rising. So that's the last one. Nice space between them. Just cover these with a bit of oil, sprinkle them again lightly. That should take about another 40 minutes, I'd say, to get them to rise. And then we just pop them into the oven. Put a cross on them, and we'll pipe a cross on them. That's to represent the crucifixion of Christ. And then we'll pop them in the oven for 15 minutes, and hopefully we'll have lovely hot cross buns. These little buns now have risen, and you can see the reason why I say to make the space in beside them, because they all grow onto one another. So I'm just going to put the cross on now. Again, I said that's just to represent the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And you can use a plastic bag and just cut the corner of it to pipe them on. Just flour and water, that's all that is, and make a paste that it'll be. As you can see, the consistency of that paste there. That's really that. So here we go. Just one line like that. You just see that. Like so. So. And then we'll be popping these into the oven, about 15 minutes as I said, at 200 degrees. And I'm not egg washing them because the brown sugar I have in them makes them brown enough, but we'll just glaze them with some apricot glaze when they come out. So that's the wee crosses in there, very homemade looking. That's them in there now for 15, 17 minutes. Been in there for 17 minutes. Tap them nice and hollow, that's time they're cooked. And the next job now is to put a wee bit of glaze on them when they're still hot. And here we have the glaze. Here we have the glaze. Just paste the glaze on. And you notice the colour's nice and brown. That's the brown sugar, helps that colour. You don't have to worry about putting egg wash on, as I said earlier. So I'll let them cool and serve them up to the family. And I have nothing left to do but wish you happy Easter.